My very good morning, hello and welcome to the Spot Ride. It is a Friday. Today is a great day, 4th of August 2023. We keep counting, we keep moving. I'm really looking sporty because today is just a very, very wonderful time again for me to reunite with you on TV, and I'm happy to be here. Now, let's talk about the local league football now, Nigerian Premier Football League, formerly called Nigerian Professional Football League. Now, the Rivers United outfits now have just appointed Evans Ogenyi as their new chief coach. He replaced Fatah Shaw, who stepped down from the position at the end of last season. Ogenyi has coached the likes of Warri Wolves and most recently Kano Pillars. He took to the MPFL from the Nigerian National League down to the NNL. Now, in a post on Rivers United Twitter handle, Ogenyi said he is looking forward to coaching the pride of Rivers. And we'll have to wait to see what comes up next, and that's very one. Now, moving on, Nigerian Premier League side champions Eyimba have named goalkeeper Ojo Olorunleke their new captain. The two-time African champion made this known via announcement on the official website. The 27-year-old appointment follows the departure of former captain Janobo, who is now on Tambonga, Tanzania, who left for Alba Giants following the expiration of his contract. Nobo also, who spent 3 years at Eyimba, has teamed up with Tanzania Premier League club. Olorunleke also joined Eyimba back in September 2021 after several ties with the local rival Abia Warriors. Now, the shortstopper quickly established himself as the club #1 choice despite strong competition from Nobo and Jezeri Bassa. Now, also, Eyimba also confirmed the appointment of centre-back Samuel Alalibo as vice-captain. The People's Elephant will begin their 2023-24 campaign with the CAF Champions League preliminary fixture against Al Ahly Benghazi of Libya on August 18th. Wait to see how that comes to play. Now, we'll never stop talking about the FIFA Women's World Cup coming up. The Nigerian Super Falcons will be trading tackle to the Lionesses of England. I cannot wait to see what comes to play in that very big game. It's going to be a very wonderful time. Let's see. And I think possibly for me, I'm really craving to see that come to play. I can't even wait, sincerely. Now, let's talk about Nigeria Super Falcons returning back to training at the Lion FC ground on Thursday ahead of their round of 16 clash with England. According to reports, says the players were granted a 2-day break following their Monday's draw against Republic of Ireland, and all the 23 players took part in the exercise. Midfielder Deborah Abiodun, I'm really happy to say she is available again after sitting out the game against Australia and Republic of Ireland due to suspension. Around the Wildham side, we will take on the Lionesses of England at the Lang Park, Brisbane on Monday morning. The highly anticipated encounter will kick off at 8:30 a.m. Nigerian time. It will be the 4th ever meeting between both countries. The Lionesses won their first meeting with Nigeria 3-2 in the final group game back in 1995 World Cup. Since then, however, the Super Falcons have emerged victorious in each of the two friendly fixtures between the nation. Now, they triumphed 3-0 in the friendly in Reading in April 2004, and also were 1-0 winners when the team met back in Norwich in July 2002. And I just want to say, let's wait to know what comes out in that very much game. The Super Falcons, anytime, any day, we want to give it to them, right? We want to say that they should just come out and play well. But a quick one about this team. Around the Wildrum, we've seen over time playing, I think he's more of a defensive manager, but he's not scared to attack. He sits deep and watch you play. And if he gets to, huddle on the game, and he takes advantage of your, of your misfortune in the game, and then the counter. You could look at your screen there, you could see the ladies, trying to do what they know how to do well. The training is ongoing, and they just cannot wait to take on the Lionesses of England. Some might want to say on paper, the English side have the better, upper hands than the Super Falcons. Maybe just because Lauren James, some of the like of players they've got. But regardless, don't forget we're talking about a team who are, 11th time in Africa. Nigeria are getting to be on every record and every World Cup. They've just been amazing about us, ladies. You can't talk less about them, and let's wait to know what comes to play next. Now, moving on to the next story, despite making their debut at the Women's World Cup, outclass Lionesses of Morocco have qualified for the round of 16 after beating Colombia 1-0 in their final Group H game on Thursday. Morocco finished second on 6 points behind Colombia, who also recorded 6 points. The North African now joined Nigerian Super Falcons and Bayana of South Africa in the knockout stages. Now, the shock of the group was two-time Women's World Cup winner Germany, who crashed out after being held to a 1-1 draw by South Korea. Germany also needed an outright win against South Korea, but could not find a decisive winning, hence they crashed out of the group stage for the first time ever after edging South Korea 1-0 in their second group game. Morocco also secured their same scoreline against Colombia thanks to Anis Al-Hamari. Now the former pawns on the pass from Galani Chebak initially saw her penalty saved by the Colombian keeper. Morocco will now take on France in the round of 16 on Tuesday, August 8, and that's just what it is for African teams doing so right in the FIFA Women's World Cup. I'm really giving them all the very much support that I can give. Bayana of South Africa, go out there, give out your very best. What more about the Super Falcons? Of course, you know, go out there and give out your best. And also for the Outclass Lionesses of Morocco, we've seen them doing so well. I mean, there's a lady in that team that plays with the hijab. That's just what it is. But moving on to the next story, let's talk about the African champions. The Tigers of Nigeria have qualified for the final of the 2023 FIBA Women's Afro-Basket after overcoming host Rwanda. In Thursday's semi-final, the Tigers triumphed 79.48 against Rwanda and qualified for a fourth consecutive final. The five-time African champion won 3 of the 4 quarters in the last 4 tie. They ended the quarterfinals 22-2, before also taking on the second quarters 22-12. Rwanda also rallied back and overcame the Tigers in the third quarter 17-14. But, you know, the quarter saw the Nigerian team winning 21-13. Now they have to take on Mali in the finals, and that's just what it is. I give them all the very much support in the Afro basketball game. Now, next on the world of golf. Come with me, let's talk about golf. I mean, the PGA Tour FedEx Cup, right? Where Adam Scott boosted his hope of securing a place in the PGA Tour FedEx Cup playoff on Thursday, just after, you know, carding a 5 on the par 65 to grab the early lead at the Wind-Down Championship. Now, the 43-year-old veteran fired 7 birdies and 2 birdies in raining condition at Sage Hill Country Club in Greensboro, North Carolina, to take on a one-shot clubhouse lead. Scott also is hoping for a high finish at the Wind-Down to lead him into the field for the postseason. The 2030 Master Champion is 84th in the postseason, standing with only the top 70 at the end of this week, advancing to the playoff. Scott, who has qualified for every PGA Tour playoff since they were introduced back in 2007, needs a minimum of just 2-way tie for 9 to have a chance to force his way into the top 70. Scott, meanwhile, insisted he is relaxed about the possibility of missing out on the playoff for the time. I mean, that was the first time. Now, Scott also led by 1 shot from Belgium, Thomas Detry, and Sweden, Ludwig Albeck, who both posted 4 on the par 66. Former world number 1 Justin Thomas, also who is also trying to Moscow his way into the playoff, was 5 off the lead after shooting an even par 70. Thomas is 79 in the playoff qualification standings, and that's just what it is in the world of golf. You want to talk about golf, you know it's about the on the par. You keep saying on the par all the time, and it's just what have you. You just have to know golf is just a game. I think they say it's a game for the big man, and I'm really loving the game. Now, come with me, let's talk about tennis. A whole lot's happening in the world of tennis. I know about Naomi Osaka's returning back possibly for January 2024. We just have to wait to see what comes up next. And a lady posted on social media to say, we cannot wait to see, we cannot just wait to see Naomi Osaka return back to court to play. I know how this works. If you do things over time, you just want to keep doing what you want to do well. I mean, you can't just leave what you've been doing for a long time. Now, let's talk about injury-plagued Dominic Thiem. On Thursday, he has just moved to within just 1 victory of reaching the first ATP final in 3 years when he battled into the last 4 of the Kates Mohel Clay Court tournament. Former world number 3 team playing in his hometown event, defeated out to Rennes of France 4-6, 6-3, 6-4. It was another great night here. The first game was horrible, but from then on, it was really good against an opponent who is playing great tennis, said Dominic Thiem, whose last championship match on the tour was at ATP final back in 2020. That was in the same season where he captured his only Grand Slam title at the US Open. His victory in New York was his 17th career trophy, and also most recent. Team is now down to 1-1-6 in the world after a lengthy battle to overcome a wrist injury. In Friday's semi-final, 29-year-old Australian will face Serbia Lazo Jerry, who defeated Argentina Pedro Cachin 6-4, 6-2. Top-seeded Argentina Thomas Martin, also Echeverry, came from a set down to defeat Colombian Daniel Elali Galan 6-7, 6-7, 6-3, 6-4 to set up a semi-final with countryman Sebastian Baez, who defeated Slovakian Alex Molkan 6-4, 6-3, and that's just what it is. Dominic Thiem. Yes, I have been a fan of Dominic Thiem, yeah. I feel like he's not being consistent. That's just what it is. I think he's just not being consistent because looking at his position right now in the world, you just would agree with me. He doesn't feel like a top-notch player anymore. But his name does ring a bell. Dominic Thiem, a wonderful tennis player. He knows the court well. He knows the clay court well. He knows how to do things right. He knows how to, he knows how to maneuver his way. And it's not funny. We talk about him right now and it's, and it's feeling like it's just something else to say. Now let's talk about football. Chelsea on the verge. What's Chelsea really trying to do? I think Chelsea is trying to make everything look very right at the moment. Yes, Chelsea is trying to, recuperate. That's a better word. Chelsea is trying to get a transformation. Chelsea is trying to get a transition. Chelsea is trying to make sure the team is in good shape now. That's the message that Chelsea have agreed to deal with Premier League club rival Brighton to sign goalkeeper Roberto Sanchez for £25 million plus add-ons. Reports say on Thursday Sanchez, who lost his place to Jason Steele during the second half of the last season, will offer competition for Kepa Arrizabalaga following the departure of Edouard Mendy to Saudi Arabian Al-Fayed Al Ahly. It is understood that the window involves an upfront £25 million payment with an additional sell-on clause included on that deal. And now Spain's international Sanchez 25 worked with Chelsea goalkeeping staff coach Ben Robert when he was at Brighton. Now Roberts left for Stamford Bridge in September 2022. The new Blues manager Mauricio Pochettino is overhauling his squad following the club's worst Premier League season in almost 30 years. Chelsea also have been linked to the move to Seagull midfielder Moise Caicedo, with Brighton said to be looking forward for £100 million fee. They opened their way to the new Premier League campaign at home against Liverpool on August 13th. It's quite close. Today's sport. Do your countdown, do your mathematics, do your whatever way you want to do. And you will know with Chelsea, Mauricio Pochettino trying to go back to the drawing board, trying to make sure the team is in good shape. Moise Caicedo, being that man, they really want to say, yes, we want to sign this guy. We don't get to sign him. We don't feel at rest. And Brighton is saying if Declan Rice can actually move to Arsenal for a fee of £105 million, then maybe just why would a 21-year-old Ecuadorian international move to a Chelsea side less than £100 million? And that's the business for football. That's the revenue. It looks very crazy. Now the closest man to Chelsea is the likes of this man I just talked about. His name is Sanchez. He's a Spanish international. He's 25. He lost his shirt to Steele, and possibly he might be a Chelsea player, but time will tell on that. Now moving on to the next story, Denmark striker has completed his medical ahead of a move to Old Trafford. Manchester United are likely to unveil Rasmus Højlund as the latest signing during Saturday's friendly against Lens. Now the PA News Agency understands the 20-year-old Denmark international striker has completed his medical after United agreed a deal with Atalanta in principle last week, worth around £64 million plus a further £80 million in potential add-ons. Højlund also has agreed a 5-year deal with the option for a further season at Old Trafford and will become Eric Ten Hag's third summer signing. England midfielder Mason Mount also arrived from Chelsea in June for £55 million. And also goalkeeper Andre Onana completed his move from Inter Milan last month for a fee of £47.2 million. Here outside Atlanta paid some grounds and reported £15 million for Højlund last summer, and he scored 9 goals in 32 league games appearances. Højlund also, who has scored 6 goals in 6 senior international for Denmark, started out in Copenhagen, making his first team debut age 17 and moved on to Australian Bundesliga title side in January 2022. United also played League One side Lens at Old Trafford on Saturday, 12:45 p.m. and also take on the Liga side, talk about Athletic Bilbao in their final preseason friendly in Dublin on Sunday, 4 p.m. It is stated. Let's hope and see what comes to play if United will get to make it right this time around. Now, Marcus Rashford, still on the United news. Marcus Rashford on the news now. On Thursday, predicted that he could hit 40 goals this season, buoyed by, hearing Wayne Rooney is backing him to break his Manchester United scoring record. Rooney topped the list of all-time scorers at Old Trafford with 253 goals, but having recently signed a new 5-year contract, 25-year-old Marcus Rashford looks in a good position to one day overhaul that tally. Now, the 30 goals he scored last season moved him to 1, 2, 3. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm all about scoring goals. I'm trying to make assists. There is definitely a chance that it can happen, said Marcus Rashford when asked about Wayne Rooney's all-time United record. He said, I've actually spoken to Wayne about it. He wants me to do it. He said it would be good for me to do it. And I've grown up at the club. Hopefully, I get the opportunity to try and make it happen. In an interview with former United defender Gary Neville on his Overlap broadcast, Rashford also said he believes he could hit 40 goals if he can stay fit in the forthcoming season. Before last season, I always said let's get to 20 for a winger, a good benchmark, he added. But this season, I just hit 30, so we all have to try and push it now and go above and beyond. Towards the end of season, I was struggling with a few injuries, but I also probably wasn't quite at 8 when the goals started to dry up a little bit. If I can keep that side of it under control, I feel like I can go on and get 35 or 40 goals coming from Marcus Rashford. Yes, will he do it? Does he have what it takes to do it? He's a good player, no doubt. 30, 40 goals, 30, 35, 40 goals in the Premier League is astonishing. A player just made a mark for himself. Talk about Erling Haaland. He came to the league and showed class, and he's just been the man we talk about. But Marcus Rashford, with the likes of Højlund coming to the club, Mason Mount, Fred possibly forgot to Sarai. The signings are great for United. Everton Hag is really wanting for himself what he wants. The project to stay on. Maybe likely Mason Greenwood will be joining the team, and let's see how it goes for Manchester United. But on this note, it is time for me to go. It's time for me to call this a wrap. It's been a fun talking sports with you right here on Voice of the People TV. Do well to subscribe, and also, go there and come on. For everything we've talked about, you could actually go share your comments and drop it there. I would definitely get to see that when I return. Hopefully for you again back on TV, and that's going to be for Monday morning. But for now, it's time for me to go. Stay safe out there and do it right. If you're not doing it right, you're definitely doing it wrong. It is a Friday. Bye, I'm out.